everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a eyeshadow palette try on slash review. It's actually been, I feel like, a really long time since I've done one of these, so I actually picked up two this time, and I thought we'd do one on one eye and one on the other. And this is the Juvia'S Place, the Mauves and the Berries. I seen these in store at Ulta, and if you guys know, I recently purchased one of their lipsticks, which I was obsessed with. So when I seen these, they really caught my eye. So they have a total of 6 shades in each one of these palettes, and they are $14. They do actually also have 6 palettes. They've got, again, the berries and then the mauves, and then they've got the nudes, the chocolates, the pinks, and the purples. I just got these two. I really wanted the nudes and the chocolates, but they were out of stock at the store I was at. So if I like these, I'm actually going to purchase these online. And like I said, these are $14. And the $3.50 off of 15, I think it is, actually worked on these at Ulta. So I figure we'll try them out. I did prime my eyes already. I used the Too Faced Shadow Insurance because I know this primer usually works with every single eyeshadow palette that I've ever used, so I want to again give it a fair shot. And then I just do have like a variety of brushes right here, so I figure, like I said, we'll try the mauve one on this eye and then we'll do the berries on this eye. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we'll open these up and take a look. So I will also include some swatches for you guys, but I've just been like really impressed, like I said, with like the colors in here so far. And I like this idea of like smaller palettes. So again, this one is the mauve. It has really beautiful packaging. Oops. And this fell out. So again, you guys will already probably see the swatches while I'm talking over top of this, but this is the mauve one, just really, really pretty. So in this one, it looks like you have 4 matte shades, and then this one, I believe, when I was swatching it, was kind of like more of like a topper, and then this one's kind of got a satin because it's got little bits of shimmer throughout it. And then we've got the berries right here, which this one I think I'm going to be most excited about. They come really nice packaged. So, and then this one has, again, really gorgeous packaging. It'll focus on it instead of my face. And then these shades, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but these are so freaking pretty. Like, I'm obsessed. So I actually think I want to try this one first. So maybe we'll do more of like a shimmery look on this eye, and then maybe more of like a matte look with the mauve one, since there was more matte ones in there. But yeah, okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Actually, I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you guys can be a little bit closer. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got you guys in as far as you can go, which I feel like is pretty close up. So I don't know how pigmented these are going to be or anything, so I'm going to be taking a Morphe E23 brush, and I believe we're going to start out with this shade right here. Unfortunately, there's no names on here. I don't believe, like, I don't see any on the back or anything, so we're just going to go in with this medium berry shade. And again, we'll do, I'm trying to think, this is the one I'm most excited about. So this is my good eye, but we'll start over here on this eye. So I'm just going to, okay, these are really pigmented. Work this in the crease. And I'm going to take a Morphe E28 brush, and we're going to take this really pretty shade right here. Have you guys tried these palettes out? If so, you should let me know. I don't feel like there's a ton of fallout for as pigmented as these are, but, and then I'm just going to place this just like right below that pink shade, that first shade, and just all right, next I'm be coming in with this dark shade right here with a Sigma F70, and I'm just going to be like packing that color all over the lid. I'm going to get a little bit close with this one because I Alright, then I'm going to be taking this dirty looking Wet n Wild brush. It's the P15, but I cleaned it off. It's just stained. And then I'm going to take that exact same purple color, and like I said, I'm just going to start kind of like working this up into the crease just to kind of blend those shades together. I feel like these blend really nicely, and I don't think that there's a lot of fallout, but I do kind of feel like they're all like blending into each other, like they're all the same shade, kind of. Like I don't have that gradual effect that I usually like, so I'm going to kind of do like a patting motion and just, you guys see what I mean, as I feel like it just all looks like one color on my eyelids. So I'm actually going to take that really bright pink. I don't know, this might be a complete and total mistake, but we're going to take this shade right here, which has, it looks like little bits of shimmer in it, but I'm hoping by the time it blends out, there won't be any shimmer. And then I'm gonna actually just go over top of that crease. Okay, yeah, I feel like that helped, definitely. All right, so we're gonna take this shade right here on my finger, and I'm just gonna put that over top of that dark shade that I put on the lid. So pretty pigmented right off the bat. It's really pretty. Kind of looks a little more red, I feel like. And again, I'm just like popping that in the center and then just blending it out with my finger. All right, so for the lower lash line, I'm just going to take this shade first, and I'm just going to buff it on my lower lash line, and then we'll kind of do like the same thing we did on the top. Alright, so this palette doesn't really have like an inner corner highlighter, so I am going to be actually reaching in. This is a highlighter palette from Anastasia. I've had it for forever. I don't really use it as a highlighter. I'm going to take the shade Pink Heart and just put that in my inner corner for a highlight. Alright guys, so really quick, I'm just going to put eyeliner on and mascara, and then we'll come back and we'll do the other eye. Alright, so I got mascara and eyeliner on, and overall, I think this is okay. I think like the matte shades blended really nicely. There was no patchiness or skipping. They were really smooth, but I feel like they were so smooth that they were kind of like blending into each other, so you kind of have to keep going back and forth to kind of get more of like that gradient effect. I used this shimmer shade, like I said, on the lid, and it did have a lot of fallout. I didn't really have any fallout from the matte shades, but the shimmer shade did have a little bit of fallout, so you might want to maybe do like your foundation stuff last before you use these eyeshadows. The only thing is this one didn't really have like an inner corner highlight, so I did have to reach into this this is a highlighter palette by ABH, and I took the shade Pink Heart down here. But overall, like I said, I do think it looks like really pretty. Is it something that I'd probably reach for every single day? No, but I think that these eyeshadows would look really, really pretty on a lot of different skin tones. So again, overall, like I said, I do like it, but probably wouldn't necessarily like reach for it often. But I'm hoping maybe the mauve ones like definitely look more like wearable. I feel like every day for me anyways, for my skin tone. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started with this one, and I'm using the same brushes. I just have this like little color switcher, is that what they call it, and cleaning it off. So we're gonna start out with this pink mauve shade right here. Alright, now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing I did with that pink shade, but I'm going to bring it into the inner corner and the outer corner as well. Alright, now I'm going to take the deepest shade in this palette, and I'm going to put this like in my inner corners with that Sigma F70 in my outer corner, and then we'll go back in with the blending brush and blend it out. Before we put that shimmer shade in the center, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade and this shade, and we're going to blend those both on the lower lash line. Alright, so I changed my mind because when I was putting this on, it's just too light. I feel like it's more like a topper. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try this shimmer shades with a brush this time, and I'm going to take this really pretty purple shade and apply this to the center first, and then we will, okay, I don't like how that's applying with a brush, so I'm going to take with my finger. This shade's a little bit chalky feeling, and I feel like this is really too dark to kind of do that halo eye with, but we're just going to do it first, and I'm going to come over top of it with this really pretty shade. quite a bit of fallout from that like topper shade for sure. Alright, so I actually want to try this topper shade as like the inner corner highlight, but what I'm going to do to see if I can get it to kind of like pick up more is I'm actually going to take my NYX glitter primer. I'm going to put this in my inner corner and wait just a second for it to kind of get tacky. And then I'm going to put that shimmer shade over top of this to see what it looks like. Alright, so that glue is starting to get tacky, so I'm taking some of that, like I said, topper shade, and I'm going to see if it shows up any better. Okay, so I definitely feel like, yeah, the glitter glue kind of like grabs onto that shimmer. I definitely feel like it makes it more, show up a lot more. I actually really like that shade. Alright guys, so I just put mascara on this eye and just some black eyeliner. So this one I feel the same way about. The mattes I think blended really nicely. There was no skipping, no patchiness. I just feel like it's one of those that you want to make sure that when you have that first shade down, you have blended to where you want it. Whereas a lot of times, like, I feel like it can be kind of sloppy and I can come back with like a second shade and use it to kind of blend that out and it gives that gradient effect. This one, I do feel like I kind of had to keep going back and forth and like building those shades up. But like I said, they do blend really easy. As far as this like topper shade, I think that it works really nicely in with like a glitter glue, which is what I used in my inner corner, and I think it makes it pop a little bit more. But this is definitely one of those that I think would make a really pretty topper. I will say out of both of these, I do feel like there is quite a bit of fallout from the shimmer shades, but none at all from the matte shades. Again, just do your foundation later. I don't really feel like that's a deal breaker. I definitely want to try out the nudes and then the chocolates to see how they work. But I do like these. Again, probably, like I said, they're not palettes that I want to reach for every single day, but I do think that they turned out really, really pretty on the eyes. And I do like them. Just like I said, a little bit of like trial and error with them both. But if I had to choose like one of these, I'd probably go with the mauves because I feel like it's more of like a more simple everyday look. Whereas I do feel like the berries, the look that I created, like I said, was just a little bit more dramatic. But yeah, like I said, I think that they're, you know, pretty good palettes, but I'll go ahead and I'll zoom you guys out and I'll just wrap this video up and tell you guys whether I think you should purchase them or not. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and wrap this video up. So for $14, I think that these are a really nice deal. You get a total of 6 shades in here, so that brings it down to about $2.30 some cents per eyeshadow. And again, these are really huge. I like the packaging of both of these. I think it's really pretty. I like how like the colors on the outside kind of match the colors on the inside. You don't get a mirror, which again doesn't bother me. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, everyone has other products that has mirrors in them nowadays, and I really like the whole like smaller eyeshadow palettes. I feel like they're definitely going to kind of make a comeback because I feel like everyone already has like larger palettes they can kind of combine these with. Out of the two, I prefer the mauve one, which is what I used on this eye because I feel like it's more everyday, whereas the berries one was a little bit more dramatic, but I feel like the berries one would look really great on a lot of different skin tones. This one right here, as far as like the matte shades in both of these palettes, I feel like, as you guys seen, they didn't skip or anything like that. They weren't patchy. They blended really well. I'm trying to put my finger on what other brand of eyeshadows it is that I've used that their matte ones will kind of blend into each other. Like, I can go in with a lot of my other eyeshadow palettes, like the ABH palettes and stuff, and like I can put that first transition shade down and I can be like, okay, when I come in with like that deeper shade, I can kind of, you know, like blend it out. But I feel like these kind of blend into each other, so you kind of got to be a little bit careful. It's nothing bad. I think it's trial and error. Like, I definitely figured it out after I did this eye. Did kind of more of like a gradual effect with these, but I like them. Again, I feel like if you're someone who is more on into like the neutral shades, not these like bright shades, then again, I did see they had the nudes one and then the chocolates, but I'm pretty sure the pinks and the purples were both, again, pretty intense shades. But I like palettes like this. I think that they would work well with other palettes. As far as the shimmer shades, this one in this palette was a little bit on the chalky side. It's what I put down first. There is a lot of fallout from the shimmer shades. Again, that doesn't bother me. I would just remember next time, hey, you know, do my foundation later. This shade in here is definitely more of a topper. It's what I put, like I said, right there in the center over top of this purple shade because this just didn't seem to work on its own. But then in the inner corner right here, I just put down some of that NYX glitter glue as you guys seen, and then whenever top it with this, and it really grabs that shade and makes it pop. So Again, like I said, I just prefer this one because I like the shades better on my skin tone personally. Now this one, both of the shimmer shades in here was really nice and creamy. They weren't as like chalky feeling as that other one. And again, I used this shade all over my lid, which I think is really pretty. I would like to try this shade next. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think for 14 bucks, these are really nice eyeshadows if you like these little really like berry shades or these really mauve shades. And I think these would be really great to add into your collection. So yeah, if you guys would like to see any other like eyeshadow palette reviews, let me know. And you guys mind if I try out like two like I did today where I did one on one eye and one on the other? Or would you guys prefer it if I did like, you know, them separate, like maybe film one day and one the next day and kind of combine them? Just let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.